to a fascinating one. 1 p.m. Eastern. Detroit Lions 1-4, 0-2 on the road at the Dallas Cowboys. 4-2, 2-1 at home at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. This opened up Dallas -7 at -111, and we're now -7 at -113. So there's been a 2-cent move towards the Cowboys. This total opening up at 48.5, -110 to the under. It's now -103 to the under. So there has been a 7-cent move towards the over. And cash-wise, 5,939 tickets in, 56% of the tickets, and 87% of the cash is on the Detroit Lions. Interesting. Then 34% of the tickets, 66% of the cash is on the under. Birdie asking if anyone knows Swift's status. We're going to discuss all the information that I have picked up. The community of new knowledge in the house. Great to see you. Rance is on the under. Viper says Detroit 10-4 against spread in its last 14 games, and the Lions are coming in off a much-needed bye week. Last seen in an ugly 29-0 loss at New England. Stopped 6 times on 4th down. They came in averaging a league best 35 points per game. Detroit's the second team in the past 25 years to enter a game leading the league in scoring and get shut out. And even after the shutout, they have the NFL's second-ranked offense, 411.8 yards per game, and third-ranked scoring offense at 28 points per game. Jared Goff, 19-35 for 229 yards, 1 interception in the loss. Jamal Williams was RB1 with DeAndre Swift injured. He ran 15 times for 56 yards. Swift suffered a shoulder injury in week 4, which the team wanted to get right through the bye. So everything that I've read, Birdie, as DeAndre Swift playing on Sunday, and I don't know if Andy can back that up, but everything I read was that he almost could have played before the bye, but they wanted to ensure that he was going to be 100%. And 258 total yards, 2 touchdowns in his first 2 full games this season. Amon-Ra St. Brown also needed this week off from his ankle injury. He did not look good returning from the ankle injury. 4 catches for 18 yards. And then defensive lineman John Kaminsky hasn't played since week 2 because of a wrist injury. And he was leading the team in quarterback pressures the first 2 weeks. Campbell says it looks promising that Kaminsky will be back Sunday in Dallas. He also said that rookie defensive lineman Josh Paschal and second-year cornerback Jerry Jacobs are trending in the right direction to be in the lineup on Sunday. And the Lions, though, are allowing 167.6 rush yards per game, and that could hurt them here. Cowboys had their 4-game winning streak snapped in 26-17 loss. Philly went down 20-0, battled back down just 20-17 early in the 4th. Cooper Rush suffered his first loss as starting quarterback, 18-38, 181 yards, 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions. But Dak Prescott is expected to be under center for this one. He's not been seen since injuring his thumb in that 19-3 loss to the Buccaneers in week 1. CeeDee Lamb caught 5 passes for 68 yards, and Jake Ferguson 4 for 40 in a TD. Zeke had 13 carries for 81 yards. This defense still looks strong. I know that they got down pretty fast against Philly, but it still looks strong, and they finished with 4 sacks. And this is a good football team, and Dak will be back. And the weak point of the Lions defense is the rush yards allowed, and they should get hammered here with that. And then we're also talking, as we always do, about a very public dog. This is going to be a huge public dog, and we know what happens to public dogs is they don't cover. But let's hear Andy's breakdown before we solidify thoughts. Lions, Cowboys, Andy, take it away.
Not too dissimilar from the Thursday game where there is a lot of injury news that changes things greatly. Coaches lie all the time, like the Swift thing. Who knows if that's bullshit or not? Like that very much matters because this defense for Dallas, while maybe a titch overrated, it is not the 85 Bears. They still have some holes, especially for teams that can defend an outside rush. It's still very good, and that'll be kind of the matchup to watch. The Detroit Lions, despite having a bad record and kind of being a weird team, this is one of the best offensive lines in the league. Like it is a good line coming in. It still has been a good line. The defense has been just so bad, and they've had some injuries on the offense. I feel like this team could have been better if things would have stayed together a little bit. Yeah, I need confirmation on a couple of these players before I can really jump in. And truthfully, I think it's a live betting spot. I think you'll know right away. I want to watch warm-ups. Like I want to find a stream or wherever I can sit and watch warm-ups, or if somebody's streaming that or has some video of it on Twitter, I want to see Dak throwing a ball. I want to see what that grip and that spiral looks like. I think they're rushing the guy back here, so I I'm tempted to tease Dallas here because I think just if Detroit's injuries aren't all as hunky dory as they're making out to be, this offense could be in trouble against a good defense, and this defense should get just shredded by even Zeke. And I don't even like Zeke. Zeke had a couple nice runs, but Zeke, Pollard, and anything else they throw at him. I mean, even some of these wide receiver jet sweeps and stuff they do, they should be able to run on this team and just keep the ball out of the Detroit offense's hands. And Dallas, yeah, this is one where I actually kind of like Dallas, even though if I look at my raw numbers, I show some value in Detroit, but I need a lot more answers before I can start getting and jumping in on this one.
Birdie says this O-line for the Lions will be healthy. We actually get good value here because people forget when healthy, this Detroit offense was really good. And Eric Switek says we'll only bet Dallas here, maybe sharp under. I do have interest in the under, and I think your breakdown pushes me even further towards it. I think that the idea for the Cowboys will be to run the ball down the Lions' throat and keep that Lions offense off the field. Would you be interested in the under here, Andy?
Where are we at? 48.5. God, that's close. I'll have to look, but yeah, if I leaned one way, it would be that way. Especially, and people aren't even talking about Shark. Like, Sun God, his ankle injury is not 100% still. It's great they had a bye and he's feeling better, but they have a very banged up skill position player group against a tough defense. The Detroit Lions could have a pretty bad day on offense, despite, oh, good, the offensive line is looking good and it's healthy. It still might be a bad day. So I don't know if I trust Goff against a smart, well-coordinated defense, especially if some of the skill position players are hurt. So Dallas or nothing. And then, yeah, I really like the total depends on however this Detroit Lions offense goes is how the total goes. Dallas will get theirs against this defense. If Detroit's offense is stuck in mud against this D, it stays under. Like, I think if you're betting this total, you're basically betting the Detroit Lions team total. You might want to just take it down to that level.
Yeah, that's an interesting way of looking at it as well. Team total. Okay. I like where we stand here. I guess this is the final point here, and with something that Birdie's talking about that's sort of in my head. Do we think this Cowboys defense is exhausted, banged up?
I mean, they actually looked okay in the second half there. They seemed, fine when they were kind of in comeback mode there. And really, like, I don't know, like, I worry that they just, even in a game where I would be trying to protect Dak, like, sometimes that's such a negative. Oh, our quarterback's coming back and we can't have him drop back 50 times. Yeah, that's fine. Like, this is the perfect game for that. You should be able to shred this run defense. Like, yeah, have Dak have a Mariota game. Throw the ball like 15 times. Like, I think you can still win by margin just based on a good run scheme, good run blockers, and two good running backs. So, I do think Dallas does a little bit of ball control, and maybe even if the Detroit Lions offense is humming a little, they just don't have enough possessions to get up to this, 20, 24 point level.
I lean towards this under, and I need a little more time on the side, but I certainly think that the game script is set up pretty nice with the Dallas Cowboys offense against this Lions defense that can't stop the run. That's the most simple angle in this game that I'm going to be attacking. And if I attack it, it probably leads me to the under.